boy, oh boy. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode on the Football Power Hour. My name is botswanapapi. We're going to talk about two main people today. There's just a lot of people that Manchester United is rumored with, especially after walking away from the Ugarte deal. We've walked away from a couple of people, actually, this transfer window. We walked away from Braithwaite, walked away from Ugarte, and I think there's even rumors, reports that we're walking away from Delict. Oh my God! Yes, I am actually amazed. If that actually happens, my Lord, I'm gonna be concerned. I'm gonna be unhappy. I want to do also just a vibe check and say, how are you doing? How are you doing? Happy hump day. And yeah, I hope the week has been humping you and not the other way around. Anyway, let's get into it. Let's get into the show. First things first, don't forget the rules, the etiquette rules. Say hello to people in the chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Three simple guidelines that I kindly request that you follow. Let's get it. Suppose the really first thing that I want to mention is the fact that Frankie de Jong is back again in the conversation. More and more reports are coming out, some from not so credible sources and some from slightly more credible sources. And I don't know how I feel about this. I'm so conflicted about it because at the same time, we spent too much time chasing Frankie de Jong. It feels like our high school crush. It feels like that person that we have been wanting. That person that you spent your adolescent years just being like, will it ever happen? Will it happen? And it seems like Frankie de Jong is just that person for us. I know I have friends that, still have a crush on Beyonce today. They're hoping that, maybe somehow Jay-Z will divorce or something and something will happen. But by now, if you're not with Beyonce, just let it go. The point is, like, at some point you have to draw the line and don't play the waiting game because life will just pass you. That's just how things go. I wanna just spend a little bit on Frankie de Jong just because I'm so tired. I think last season I made a song that was like, I've been waiting on Frankie de Jong. It's somewhere on the channel, somewhere on the if you go to the playlist. Let me see if I can find it. I just thought about this right now. So you know what? We might as well, right? Let's see where the thing. Oh boy. This is gonna be interesting. So if you go on Football Power Hour, right? Let me share screen so, so you can see what I'm talking about really quickly. How frustrated I was last season. You go on Football Power Hour, you go on playlists, and hold on, how many people are here? All right, shout out to all the people, 5 people that I tuned in. I hope we have 5 likes already. But if you go here to Glazes Gotta Go mixtape, um, wait, where is it now? Skip that. Basically, I hope nobody listens to this, but where's the Frankie de Jong thing, man? Wait, skip that one as well, and skip that one. There it is. Let's see.
That's the feistiest fixture of the season. Of course, we're supposed to beat Liverpool, man. Of course. Let me
I guess we had beat Liverpool after this was recorded.
share with you something from A Glazer Gotta Go Volume 2 by Football Power Hour.
Manchester United have officially withdrawn their offer for Barcelona midfielder Frankie de Jong.
How many times have we heard this? Manchester United have withdrawn an offer for for that target. It was happening last year. It's happening again this year. Let's keep hearing.
But they are still hopeful a deal can be done before the end of the window.
I've been waiting on Frankie de Jong to sign. Man United made me write me a song. This time, I'll sign my waiting on Frankie.
I don't even want to hear it. All summer waiting on Frankie. Jeez. please clean your ears. let's get that out the way. I'll let you check that out if you want to check it out by yourself. But yeah. My lord, this is annoying. We're back to Frankie de Jong settings again. And the reason why here I feel like this is a little bit like could be true is because we know Ten Hag has mentioned that he actually wanted Frankie de Jong. There's this misconception that people say Frankie de Jong no, Casemiro was a signing to replace Frankie de Jong. Once Manchester United realized they were not getting Frankie de Jong, they went for Casemiro. But that is actually a myth. That's untrue. And the reason why I say so is because there is this interview right here. If you have not seen it before, this is eriktenhag talking with Gary Neville, and he talks about his ideal midfield. Arteta says that was a beggar. Get out of here, Arteta. Get out of here, man. No. That was because I was bored with no signings last season, and the pen was penning, and I've actually started getting back into the writing zone. Shout out to people that are in the building, by the way. Lutata in the house saying cut the crap and super chat. Everybody, yo, super chats are so encouraged, and also memberships and all that stuff. And yeah, so welcome to the Football Power Hour if you're just tuning in, right? Big up to Yale, big up to Luan saying good morning. Luan, what time zone are you in? Last time I checked, you were in Toronto. What do you mean good morning? It's good evening, and good afternoon, unless you're talking to our friends in Australia, New Zealand, and so forth. Men like man says, big up everyone. Like the video, subscribe to Football Power Hour, Kenny Fan TV, Mark and MUFC Fan, and D Hub Sports. Yes, these are our friends. This is our family. Make sure, guys, you just go to them and hit subscribe when you get a chance. Yala says a very slow day of news. Yep, the only good thing I can see, Old Trafford will not be torn down. It will become a 30K seater for the youth and women's team. It is kind of a slow day, Yale. It is a really slow day. That is why precisely I was just like, let's actually spend a little bit of time learning about Sander Berge. But that's for a little bit later on in the show. So stick around for that, because I did a little bit of research that I want to share, because he's not somebody that is lighting up fires in terms of like excitement or anything. But I never want to just discredit anybody just from just the very surface like analysis or review of them. So anyway, back to men like Will says, where's my money? First of all, guys, I made a bet with Will, and I may regret this bet, but here is the bet. I need you to tell me if this was a good idea or not. Yale, I normally where's Ronald actually to advise me on this? Oh, Lumen, Luchata. So my bet with Will was, I said Julian Alvarez, who's now going to be at Atletico Madrid, is going to have more goals than Kylian Mbappe. Now, I really feel like Mbappe is going to disrupt the squad harmony. Mbappe is not going to kick. He's not going to be a flop like Hazard, but he's going to have a season or a time at Real Madrid that's very similar to Gareth Bale, where everybody thinks like he's gonna be the one, but you'll see somebody else like Rodrigo step up, or Vinicius Jr. like keep on like putting up the performances that he's been putting. So I'm very skeptical of this Kylian Mbappe project. I know he's probably gonna get all the penalties, he's gonna get all the La Liga punching bags to stat pad, but something deep down in me tells me that Julian Alvarez is gonna have more goals. Was this a good idea or a bad idea? Baby, shout out to you. Man says that was a bad idea because Man says pay him the money. Pay him the money. Nah. I actually want to just do a quick little, like feeler. I want to see if anybody in the community believes what I'm saying, right? Will Julian Alvarez get more goals than Kylian Mbappe? Who will have more goals at the end of the season? On the end of the La Liga season, Julian Alvarez or Kylian Mbappe. Now I need just like 5 people to just tell me so I know I should start budgeting or not. Because Atletico Madrid is building a big project, guys. Like there is Conor Gallagher, we know there's Griezmann in there. I think Morata was obviously gone from there, but there is also another player that I'm blanking out on his name. He's not that good, but at the end of the day, I believe Julian Alvarez will be put in the middle, and he's going to have a really good chemistry with Antoine Griezmann. And Julian Alvarez should score more goals because I really, really need to win this bet. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start saving some money. But anyway, back to the regular scheduling, by the way. Big up to Sadek Rahman in the building. Big up to Abebe, as I said before. Abebe says United. I want to De Jong, Mazraoui, Ruiz, Delight, Joao Felix to United is better for next season. What is Abebe saying? Hold on. United, I want to... The players that Abebe wants at United is De Jong, Mazraoui, Ruiz, Delict, Joao Felix to United is better for next season. Really, you want Joao Felix, Abebe? Interesting. We're gonna talk about De Jong. In a second. I wanted to also just read out Rahman's comment saying, how does Sander Berge compare to Declan Rice and or Rodrigo? We need to destroy. We'll come back to that. Let's get to the actual midfielders also that we had planned to talk about, and we'll go back to your question. I bookmarked it, Sadek Rahman. So we were still on dispelling the rumors that Frankie de Jong's replacement was Casemiro, because there are some people that did not know this. Look at this. Eriktenhag, in his conversation with Gary Neville towards the end of last season, this is prior to the FA Cup, and this is what he... And there it is. There's more on this. I don't want to spend time just like watching it with you, but it came from Erik ten Hag's words. No, you couldn't hear anything? Nah, well, okay, let's see if I... Did I... Oh boy, okay, let's try that again. Hold on. So you couldn't hear? Wait. You couldn't hear that? Oh no, that sucks. Hold on. Hold on. So what about even the song that I was... It's fine. You don't need to hear that song anyway. You don't need to hear that song. Let me share this again. I'm gonna have to find a different way to share it so that the audio can audio. Boom. Okay. So here we go. All right. This is the piece of audio that I was trying to share. Thank you so much for mentioning that Will, Luan, and Yale. And Popo is out here just laughing at me. Popo, you're one of those people that just like anti-progress, you know. You're an EOP, enemy of progress. All right, here we go. Let's listen to hit the like button while you're at it, Popo. Stop laughing. All right, let's listen to what Eriktenhag had to say when he was asked about Frankie de Jong prior to the FA Cup final last season. And this should dispel the rumors that anybody may have about about um, about Casemiro being the replacement for Frankie de Jong. Here it goes.
So Frankie de Jong would have been allowed you more to play this style maybe if he'd have been brought in a couple of years ago.
That would have been Frankie de Jong and Casemiro, and they would really be connected with each other. And they will be really complementary with each other. Absolutely.
All right. That is the words of Eriktenhag. You can tell that the man talked even about them complementing each other and the connection that they would have together. And like, you know, that was the ideal midfield. In this interview, he goes on to talk about it that, okay, well, you know, also probably that wouldn't have opened the door for Kobe Mainoo. We wouldn't, if everything went well last season for Eriktenhag, or according to plan, the midfield triangle for Eriktenhag would have been Bruno, Frankie de Jong, Casemiro, period. Now, we know that that didn't happen. And now it's a new transfer window. And then we're talking about Frankie again. At the end of the day, we know that he's an elite ball carrier. We know that he's somebody that you can rely on in terms of like making sure that your defensive your defense is actually a little bit more solid. He's really good at passing as well. And you know, he has a lot of other like qualities, like say he has a good shot as well, a good long shot, and the through balls are pretty impressive. He wins a lot of his aerial duels, and he's very competitive, very combative type of midfielder that would, according to Eriktenhag, complement and complete our midfield, right? Because prior to him being asked this question, he had been asked about style of play, like why haven't we seen a proper, apparent, a proper like clear style of play after like 2 seasons. So that is Eriktenhag talking about that. So and I just honestly like the qualities that he has. You know, it's also like the intelligence as well that he has. He's really good ball security, close control of the ball. He's somebody that can also take on a few opposition players and dribble and get those passes to the attacking midfielder or the striker, you know. So Frankie de Jong is somebody that is special in that way. But we also know that he's highly overpaid, pardon me. And also, the other thing is that last season, he missed a lot of games. He also missed a lot of games, not just for Barcelona, but for the Netherlands. The reason why, what is his name again? There's the guy who was on holiday. He was chilling on a yacht, and then he got the call to go play in the Euros, and then he actually did not even. I talked about him a while ago. He did not have his boots. He asked his dad to go drop off his boots at the training camp, and you know, he was just like is it not Ian Madsen? I'm blanking out on his name right now. But anyway, the guy cut his holiday short to go to the Euros, and he actually never even played a single minute. And the Netherlands didn't even go like to the semis or anything like that. So anyway, it is what it is for him.
It is what it is.
So, you know, that's how football is sometimes. But anyway, the point that I'm trying to get at, though, is that Frankie de Jong is a player that actually has good qualities. And also, he has a little bit of like a injury record that worries me a little bit. On first glance, you would say that this injury record is not too worrisome because, you know, it seems like last season was an anomaly because he missed a significant number of games. The number is actually 20. Wait, oh man, hold on. 23, 24. He missed 14. He missed 28 games last season. Frankie de Jong missed 28 games. But the season prior, 22, 23, he only missed 9 games. The season before that, he only missed 5 games. You know, the season of 18, 19, it was only 3 games. So really his injury, like his days of being absent are really like, you know, single digit games, single digit numbers, except for last season. So one could make the argument that, listen, this is a player that is going to only acquire more and more injuries as next season, or just like next season was just an anomaly, something different. So maybe on Frankie de Jong, with the right medical team, he might actually still be able to perform, you know, and stay available. But keyword, right medical team. Do we have that at Man United? I don't think so. Do we have also the best in class like we were promised? Dan Ashworth seems like he should be Dan Ashworth. To me, he's starting to look like this guy who's not so reliable, honestly, in terms of like the way the project was sold to a lot of the Man United fan base was the phrase was best in class. Now, either Dan Ashworth was in a slow class because he's moving really slow, or the class was just not good. You know what I'm saying? Like, the more I think about it, I'm like, come on, man. Who is supposed to be cracking the whip on this? Because we know that there's this guy, Christopher Vivale, who was hired on a short-term basis. He's actually the really one of the main guys that's really at the helm of transfer negotiations. He's working in tandem with Ashworth, Wilcox, and over them, the person that's overseeing them is Omar Barada. And though that conglomerate reports to the Ineos, Radcliffe, Blanc, and Brailsford um, power structure, you know. So I really feel like these guys are either like, you know, I understand the argument that they are stuck with players that are overpaid, that nobody wants to buy, but there is a little bit of sluggishness right now because in 2.5 days we'll be playing Man City. And you know, once the Community Shield is on, it's really on. We have to be we have to be ready for the season. And the way we're moving, Dan Ashworth, the pace that we're moving in right now, it's looking like we're not going to be ready for Fulham, or we're going to face Fulham with the same regular deadwood that we know. You know what I mean? Man says, I drank the Kool-Aid. I should hold that. Well, he told us he was best in class, man. Ineos, Yale says, Ineos have been shot in the foot by what Woodward and Co did before. All right. I hear that argument, Yale. And it actually segues well into the other question that I wanted to make sure that I ask in today's stream. Let me make sure that I I look at if I'm gonna lose the bet or not. Oh Lord. Can we have one more person to vote? So it's 10 votes, please. If you haven't voted, this is the last call for the vote about the poll that's already open right now before I start up a new poll that Yale just reminded me of. I need one more voice, please. I need to know if I'm going to be paying Will or not at the end of next season. So the bet is who will have more goals at the end of La Liga season. Is it Julian Alvarez or Kylian Mbappe? And 9 people have voted. One more person, please let your voice be heard. And also don't forget to hit the like button. But I guess I drank the Kool-Aid about really being excited about Ineos because of the passion that Sergeant Radcliffe like has for football, you know. And I really was thinking that, all right, cool. Once we got Omar Barada is a very key figure in terms of like knowing what to do, how to make sure that we're really moving professionally in our transfer targets. And at the moment, we've just been playing that. You know that Craig, what's his name? David, whatever. Craig David, I'm walking away. That's exactly what we've been doing. That's the song that Omar Barada has been singing. He's been singing, I'm walking away from all my transfer targets, All right, we've got 10 votes. I can close that poll. Who will have more goals at the end of La Liga season? 60% of the people went with Kylian Mbappe, 40% said Julian Alvarez. If I was able to vote on this, I'm sure I would have made it like 45%. But you know what? We will be here at the end of next season. And I'll play you the Rihanna song. Better have my money. You know what I'm saying? Okay, all right. We're going to close that poll because I want to make sure that I ask this question based on what Yale's comment was about. Ineos, let's read it again. Ineos have been shot in the foot by what Woodward and Co. did before. It's almost impossible to remove these guys from the club. What did I say before the transfer window? I'm not expecting much. Sure, very, very fair opinion from Yale, right? Temper your expectations, then you won't really have a big mood swing like I am. Right now, Yale, I was thinking about this week being like, you know what? I'm chilling. I was talking with my friend on the phone just this morning, and my friend was like, you sound so happy. What's going on? And I was just like, well, we're in this calm period right now where my club is not dictating my emotions, but this is probably the last week and a half until like my emotions are really my default mood will be dictated by Man United for the next 9 months. So brace yourselves. It's going to be a turbulent ride, right? The point that you brought up, Yali, made me think about this conspiracy theory that has been not botswanapapi, get out of here, man. This conspiracy theory that people have been sort of like spewing ever since Jarvis's corner on Monday. We've been having this conversation. What people are saying is Ineos trying to sabotage Ten Hag. Let's be real. Ineos would never, in their right mind, invest on a manager, extend the contract of a manager just to self-sabotage. Like, what are we doing here? Nah, I do not buy that theory. I want to put what do you call it? Theory debunker spray on it and go, that should not be the rhetoric moving into this season, because everybody that is blinded by like sticking with eriktenhag, the Ten Hag Defense League, the guys that got the Ten Hag tattoo on their arms, they're going to be running with that theory so much, saying, oh, well, eriktenhag was not given all his targets. He was not given plan A, plan B, no plan C. There's going to be just so much ammunition for that perspective that I do not want to buy into Ineos wanting to sabotage Ten Hag. That is a crackhead theory. If you are one of those people that subscribe to that theory, please do me a favor. Get out of here, man. Let me make sure you can hear it from the people at the back. Get out of here, man. Seriously, like there's no way Ineos right now, just like every other ownership of any Premier League team, that trying to get the best possible tools for their respective managers / coaches. And at the end of the day, once the transfer window closes, Erik ten Hag has the duty, he has the responsibility to get the best out of those players that he has, including the new recruits and the old tools that we have. Period. No if, buts, or maybes about it. It is like perform. Otherwise, we'll get somebody else who can. That is why I want to ask this question. I close the poll just to pose this question to the community. I want to hear 10 voices on it if possible. Will Erik Ten Hag be Man United manager at Christmas? I'm not calling for Ten Hag out. I just want to make this very clear. I am asking a curious question that is saying, will he be Man United manager by Christmas? Let's hear what you think in here. If you're here, please make your voice heard and just cast your vote. Will Eriktenhag be Man United manager by Christmas? Simple question. Yes or no? Because we're entering the season with a little bit of like that nigga, like what's going on? We've been walking away from Ugarte. We've been walking away from Braithwaite. Fine, that one I'm happy with. But the reports about us walking away from Delict via Give Me Sport, and it's also looking like the person that we actually will get, this is just speculation, let me make this clear, is if Wan-Bissaka gets to agree with West Ham, and Man United and West Ham agree that Wan-Bissaka should be gone and they see eye to eye on the details, Mazraoui will be here before Delict. That is just my speculation. I was very intrigued when you put in a double. Here we go. I was like, Ineos is trying to save on the jet private jet fees or what? They try to get them both, on the same flight, same medical. You can save on the doctor. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was just curious about. But yeah, that's why right now I want to pose this question. Arten says you're low key calling for Ten Hag out in December, but no. I made sure that I preface the question on the poll properly and say, will you, in your mind right now, with your instincts, feel like Erik Ten Hag will be here by December? Knowing that we have Rude, we have Renee Hake in the building. What do you guys think? Anyway, Manjeliano was saying, throw the stew away, bro. The Ineos stew, they have expired ingredients. If you know what Manja's talking about, I have like some seasoning where I relabeled some seasoning and put a sticker on a pot that actually my girl asked me like, what's going on with the labels? I was like, don't worry about it. What is this in your sauce? Crazy. That's the things that we do for content creation. Nick says, morning all, big up to you, Nick. Thank you for being here. Arten says, last month we were in full praise of Ineos about how fast they signed 2 players. Now we're back again to regular scheduled programming as United fans. That is because we're approaching a deadline, Arten. There is, I feel like, justified concern. I don't want to call it unrest, because unrest is in the UK right now. That's a topic for another day. But there's justified concern from the different sections of the fan base about like the pace that we're moving, including myself. I'm like, if we could do 2 signings then, and quickly like that, why are we not really moving so fast? They said they were doing a strategic review. I guess they were just doing a review, right? We took a long time doing a strategic review, and now I would have hoped that part of the strategic review of that will be like, how do you get rid of a player like Scott McTominay? How do you get rid of a player like Harry Maguire? All those questions you should have been answered. How do you, because the deadwood is clear. The deadwood should have been identified in a list of 10 deadwood players. Martial, Varane, whatever, Luke Shaw, Marcus Rashford. We saw that last season he wasn't good. And Ineos should have been like, all right, even it's not just about like just chugging a player off. It's about just having a long-term succession plan of saying, all right, who's going to be our starting left winger moving forward? Who's going to be our starting, right center back if we get rid of Rafael Varane, And I give Ineos credit where they deserve it. And they've done a little bit of wage restructuring. They've gone for Joshua Zirkzee. They've done the Lenny Euro hijack. And sure, you deserve points for that, but we're deducting points the longer you take. Because now as it is, even if we get Mazraoui, he will not be involved versus Fulham. Even if we get, who's our next target, Zubamendi or Berge, they will not be here by the time we get to Fulham. Maybe Brighton, Anyway, just a curious question that I have as we move on from the Frankie de Jong conversation, because I am sick and tired of Frankie de Jong. I really hope we do not go back to Frankie, honestly. I want to say shout out to Dacro in the house, Dacro in the building. Make sure. Why we scared of Fulham, says R10, because Fulham can beat us, fam. We have been beaten by Swansea in a season opener. Swansea, where's Swansea right now? Exactly. So any Premier League team, honestly, we should not underestimate. You know what I'm saying? Frankie de Jong, who, if I speak, they say I'm hating. Says, I want to hear you speak. I will share the link in a few minutes. Over. Big up to you. Big up to Vegeta as well. Says, good evening, Frankie and Barca calling us. There is, Vegeta, that Barcelona trying to ship him for somewhere between 30 and 35 million. And pretty much just say, please come get Frankie from us. And they're employing the strategy that we should be employing with our targets, with our players, our deadwood. Because at the end of the day, I get it. A club has to come in and say, hey, we're interested in this player. But some clubs have actually taken the initiative and offered a player to another club. Why are we not doing that? We need to hear Man United are offering Scott McTominay to anybody out of the Premier League, in the Premier League. Somebody, please come clear out this deadwood from us, because this is becoming too heavy for us. Big up to you, by the way, if you're just joining in. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to make your voice heard on this question that I just posed. I want to be clear that I am not asking for Ten Hag out. I'm asking this question with just a curious perspective of like the way that we're moving. Do you think that Eriktenhag will be Manchester United manager by Christmas? Period. Yes or no? I'm not saying Eriktenhag should be gone by Christmas. That's a poll for another day. If we lose versus Fulham, Brighton, Liverpool, and Spurs, and then these 7 losses already before Christmas, then we will be asking this question. Let's see how the first couple of games go anyway. All right. Enough on Frankie de Jong. Well, yo, anything can happen. Anything can happen, bro. It is the Premier League, right? I know we're still chasing Frankie de Jong. It's incredible. It's incredible. What's the one football app saying? Says Munch. No. This is not a tabloid channel, bro. I try and carefully select the news that we talk about over here, and I think we should just go ahead and quickly mention about our brother here. What's his name? Serge. I call him Serge. Sander Berge, because I call him Serge because I compress I take the S and replace the B, and that's BS. I take the S and replace the B and just call him Serge, but it's Sander Berge. Norwegian midfielder who were rumored with. We've been rumored with so many midfielders this window. Joao Gomez, Zubamendi, Andre, Berge, Rabio, Edison, even Mikel Moreno a little bit before he ended up going to Arsenal. Richard Rios, Fofana, Frankie de Jong as well. Amra business. It's incredible what is happening with our club. Anyway, let's talk about some of the things that Mr. Berge might actually offer, right? Because at the end of the day, He has played in the Premier League. He is somebody that does not light up fires, but I believe he has some qualities that could be beneficial. I'll let you decide that after we go through this little bit of research that I did on his profile. So anyway, so as I said, he is Norwegian. He's a central midfielder, defensive midfielder as well. So it looks like he's a 6/8, but I don't know if he's a natural 6 or a natural 8 in the way he plays. I've only just tried to learn about him ever since we've been linked about him. So what we know is he's played in the championship, 68 games in the championship. He's can score from a defensive midfield position. He has had 11 goals and 8 assists in the championship, right? If you remember when we're talking about Zubimendi, I think Zubimendi is also somebody who has a good long shot in him, and he can be a little bit of one of those people that can add from deep in terms of goal tally, right? In the Premier League, out of 66 games.
Oh my God!
This young man is an old man. He's a young old man. He is 26 years of age. So he's actually, he's not, he's developed. He's developed. I think he's closer to his ceiling than a lot of the targets that we just listed earlier on. Anyway, so from 66 Premier League games, he has scored 3, assisted 4 times. I don't know. But what I know is also he has had Europa League experience. He has played he has been part of what's the word? He's got Champions League minutes as well. And also, he's played in several other cups like the FA Cup, and so he's coming in with a little bit of experience. In terms of where he sort of went up the ranks, he was obviously in Asker. That's a Norwegian team. He came up from the youth ranks and got promoted to Valerenga, and then went to Jong, and then Sheffield United, and then consequently Burnley in 23-24. So that is the transfer history of Mr. Berge. I bet Jarvis likes this guy. I can bet my money on it. my $5 that Jarvis likes this guy. He'll probably have a lot of things to say about him. And Jarvis, last time when I checked with him, he was out on a trip on holiday. And where is Jarvis when you need him to talk about this Norwegian fella? Anyway, the other thing that he also offers is he's pretty tall, 1.95 meters tall. So you can definitely know that you're guaranteed some height, some aerial presence from him if he's your midfielder. And he also is somebody that is comfortable in the first phase of football, when receiving the ball. So in possession, he can actually contribute to how we build up. Because if we remember correctly, we had a couple of problems last season. Our pressing was disjointed, and also our build-up play was a lot of our weakness. We conceded a lot of goals from just horrible build-up play where we'll just have a stray pass that ends up in the allowing the opposition to just sort of attack us, and then have a one-on-one with our center backs without even having to do too many passing combinations. So he's definitely, compared to say somebody like Ugarte, he's actually a little bit better in the passing. He's got a good ability to control the ball and receive it from just various angles, and plays really good passing, and also has good pass selection as well, right? His ball carrying is okay. It's not elite, but he's okay. As I mentioned, 1.95 meters tall, meaning that his frame can help him protect the ball. He can shield the ball really well from a lot of players in the Premier League and in the Championship. And he is actually in the 91st percentile of best midfielders aerially. So he has this ability to sort of just make sure that he uses his physical build, as part of his gameplay, and defensively, he's also kind of good apparently, in terms of like he's sort of like between, he's not excellent, he's between good and very good in terms of his mobility. He is agile and mobile with the ball, but in defensive situations, he's actually also pretty good. He can dribble past a couple of players, with the experience that he has. I think like he has learned from all the football experience that he has gathered over the years, and he's not as dominant as, say, somebody that is like who's that sort of tall that say Onana or Rodri. He's not like Rodri, but he can also help with the ball recovery, right? As I mentioned, the other thing is that he's played as an 8 and a 6, right? And he's also had this experience at Sheffield United and Burnley. So at the end of the day, you're getting a player that can maybe be a good partner for Kobe Maino, So it doesn't mean that he has to light up fires. Yeah, this is the guy that I was not convinced of, Vegeta, and I'm sharing the research that I've done with him because I was not convinced at first glance, but I never like to write off anybody without actually doing my proper due diligence of just like, what does he have to offer? Now, it may not be exceptional attributes and qualities, but it could be useful qualities. That part, I'll let you decide for yourself after I finish this last point about him. The other reason why he could be somebody that Ineos is looking at and that could fit where we are right now in our rebuild process is because of the price that you would get for him. So he's available for something along the range of 18 to 25 million pounds. So this is pretty much our within our budget. This is the shopping aisle that we should be on because we saw that we walked away from Ugarte. And I think if we get him, we should try and get another midfielder as well, not just get Berge and then call it a day. I mentioned in terms of to give balance, in terms of the things that are not so impressive about Berge is his interceptions. I was just not convinced, and that's what I believe. What's his name? Vegeta is referring to, saying, were you not convinced about him? Let me share with you this graph right here so that you see for yourself why he's Tesca value player. Exactly. His interceptions. Now, if you're a defensive midfielder and you're in the 26th percentile for interceptions, my man, and you're 26 years old, oh boy, there's got to be something that means that your positioning is not inherently good. It means that there is holes in your positioning game, right? The blocks you're making blocks when obviously you're standing in the path of the ball, and they're usually also considered like they're usually also counted when you're sort of making a defensive block, say whatever, the goalkeeper is off the line and you're there, as to be able to stop the ball going into the net. That is also like a clearance, and he's really good at that. 76th percentile, 79th percentile box and clearances respectively. And as I mentioned, aerial duels, call Berge. Somebody call Berge if you want to win an aerial duel because he's in the 91st percentile. But interceptions, which is where I thought like first season Casemiro was good at interceptions because his positioning sort of helped him. And now he seemed to sort of drop a lot with interceptions and he's resort to slide tackling. And honestly, I could be wrong on this, but I feel like this guy would be a disadvantage in that sense. As I mentioned, the pass completion is pretty good. Progressive carries is decent, 74th percentile. Let's actually look at Sorry, that ad distracted me a little bit. I was like, what's going on? I wanted to look at, where is this graph right here. There's other things too about his game, like, say, for example, the defensive actions. You can see that in terms of, like, so this is the percentage of dribblers that he's tackled. He's achieved good things at when he was still in Belgium, you know, and that obviously went a lot down because of the quality in the Premier League. It was 50% for Sheffield United, and then from there for Burnley, it was 58.6%. So you can tell that, like, if if somebody's coming at you with the ball, almost to 60, he has a 60% success rate in terms of the challenges that he tries to do on people that are trying to dribble him. So this is actually not too shabby. It's not exceptional, it's not excellent, but it's just decent. So I'll let you decide if you are excited about this player or not. The other thing that I want to also mention is that since we're not so we're on the stuff that is not so good, we mentioned a lot of the stuff that is good is also the shot creation actions, 35th percentile. Nothing, basically, when somebody is lower than 40th percentile, I really lose my hope, you know. So that is that is what I want to say about him. Luan says, I know what Tesco is. I was just a bit confused about the relationship with football. Guess you're trolling, but I was trolling with love, you know, because at the end of the day, like, he is somebody that is, I believe, has some qualities, but also it's like, is it the right quality? Is it the right player that we need right now? I'm gonna put the link in the chat if the professor is still here and wants to speak on the thing. And speaking of the thing, like the thing, guys. Make sure you hit the like button. I see we've been having some people come in and some people leave. If you have to leave, that is all fine. But please don't leave without hitting the like button. R10 earlier on says, when we win games, fans will be giving credit to Rude. If we lose, it'll be eriktenhag out. Watch this space. Very, very good point there, R10. I was also thinking about this like this. So, Casemiro, right? There's this new rhetoric that Casemiro is somebody that, we're expecting to sell him to Saudi Arabia, but the Saudis ain't no punks. The Saudis have not come to pick up Casemiro. And the unfortunate thing is that now we don't have liquid cash. And now Casemiro is is here. He's gonna be the next scapegoat. I think Manj once asked this question 3 days ago during Jarvis's corner. Who's gonna be the new scapegoat? We know Marcus Rashford has been a scapegoat. And now it's looking like Casemiro is going to be the new scapegoat because, everybody's sort of villainizing him in terms of just being like, he refuses to leave Manchester United, so we can't get Ugarte. We can't get on with our other deals. But is that Casemiro's fault? If he's been promised money by Man United in a contract, is it his fault? I say no. Pardon me. It is not Casemiro's fault that they said, we're going to pay you this much. And then, then they don't, or they want to ship him off. If it was you, how would you feel? Big up to Rahman, by the way, saying Berg is cheap. He is tall. So should we go for him? That is what I want to ask. I don't want to give my, like, say we shouldn't go for him. But I also understand that, like, we're on a budget. And sometimes for that position, for that sixth position, you don't need somebody that is extremely Mark, I saw you in the background and then you left. But I just want to make sure you know that I want to close this show at the 60th minute mark at one. You see what I did there? 60th minute mark at 1 hour. But anyway, so Berg is cheap. He's tall, but is he what we need? That is the question. Is he going to be the person that will carry us forward? The point that I'm trying to make about that position is that we don't need somebody who's going to light up fires. Honestly, we just need somebody who's going to be the destroyer, somebody who's just going to be there and clean up when we have like a possession loss. Somebody who's going to make sure that we win anytime the opposition does a long ball. That first ball or second ball, we have to be combative. We have to make sure that we're present and we do it. Going back to what's his name? Is it Rahman? Was it Rahman? Let me just double check to see who asked that. Yes, it was Sadek who was asking, who was saying this question. We need a destroyer in our midfield, someone who can win the ball back when we have lost it. And that's precisely the thing that we don't need somebody glamorous. We don't need somebody who's going to do some crazy skills or anything like that. It's not the time for that type of shopping right now. We just need somebody to clean up the mess, destroy, or be the ball thief. That is why, Rahman, I was so excited about Ugarte. Now, we could still be in for Ugarte. We don't know yet. We know that the latest is that we've walked away from that. And the latest on De Ligt and Mazraoui is that the talks are still positive. Man United said, we'll be back for you. But nothing has happened yet, So that is why I am curious what you think about this. Will Mr. Berg be the player that we actually are going to be surprised by and then end up actually what's the word? End up solving our midfield issues, or that is just not going to happen, or that is just the wrong player. So the player that I also want to bring up in question, by the way, is another somebody from Scandinavia. That this is the player that Rahman mentioned, and we're gonna look at how he compares to Gabriel Sandberg compares to, say, let's compare him to to Berge, right? Let's compare him to Berge and see how his stats look. Because he plays a similar position as well. And here we go. All right, let me just share this graph real quick so you see for yourself. Since we're shopping from Tesco, from Temu. Oh boy! So this player, Mr. Gabriel Sandberg, is he's what? He's 21 years of age, so significantly younger compared to Sander Berge, and also he's also been to, oh my goodness, he's really young, not that much experience, No. I'm sorry, Mr. Rahman. We should not be going for this player at all. Look at his stats. So we're going to the same website that I was using to sort of look at Berge's stats. And this guy has barely played, At 21 years of age. I feel like we should just don't. Man United, this is a hawk no from me. Look at this. Okay, so he's played 34 games as a central midfielder. I hope I'm sharing this. Oh, no, I haven't. Boom. He's played 34 games as a central midfielder, 14 games as a DM, 1 as a center back, 2 as a right back, and 1 as left back. And you can see the only really big like experience that he has is Italy Cup, which is probably like a preseason type of cup. And everything else is just like 13 appearances in the domestic league. Nah. Let's not go to this guy. Let's not go to this guy. He is definitely too young. And I feel like we have to look into our academy before we go to Gabriel Sandberg. He is looking like you know, his transfer history is also not that impressive in terms of like, the academy that he came from, because I also try and look at that as well, because there are some players that even if they're not, say, at a um top club, they have started in a top academy, and you can tell that, oh, this guy has had good education in his days, in his younger days. So but right now, um it is just not a good look at Gabriel Sandberg. He is playing in Odevold, right? An Odevold play is in Sweden, and I just don't feel like I'm convinced by him. Let's not go there, please. Please. We might as well shop from IKEA at this rate. You know what I mean? For real, R10. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say Ken Sneezy on the stream. What are you talking about, Munch? I had to sneeze. I didn't want to blow my nose on stream, you know. Exactly. Like the thing, silent H's, if you don't like the video, you are a 007 agent. Pay attention to the screen. There will be questions on the Kahoot quiz. No, man, no. I'm not gonna ask about say like Gabriel Sandberg. This week's Kahoot has a lot of Olympics trivia. I thought we might as well spice it up and keep it in tune with what's going on, and just say, you know what, Olympics knowledge. Let's throw it in there with some Premier League knowledge as well. So if you don't know anything about Olympics or anything about the Premier League, this week's Kahoot is for you, especially Olympics. So the all-time type of facts and stuff like that, and a little bit about like the current winners of just some various competitions in the Olympics. By the way, guys, we have reached the hour mark. I was waiting for the professor to show up. Mark showed up and disappeared. I think I do not want to make this show longer than an hour. I want to try and bring back also the 30-minute streams, yeah. Anyway, guys, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to make your voice heard by participating in the polls. I'm gonna go ahead and read the last poll. The question was, will Eriktenhag be Man United manager by Christmas? 83% of the people said yes, and 17% said no. So shout out to all the 12 people that voted on that question. I'm gonna go ahead and say yes. You know why? There was these reports that came out that Ineos are not even looking to be very, very hard on Ten Hag this season. So it's more about hopefully getting top four and maybe a trophy. But if that doesn't happen, they're not gonna go crazy. Now, of course, if like we get like 7 L's in a row, it's gonna be like, let's get him out of here.
No way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
That'll be pretty much the energy. Anyway, guys, yeah, let's reconvene tomorrow and talk about hopefully by tomorrow there will be
it's a David Ornstein bomber
that should drop tomorrow, hopefully about Mazraoui. That is my gut feeling. Don't quote me on this. If it's not, then maybe, just maybe, we can get a little bit of like progress with one of the other midfielders that we might that we're looking at. I'm talking about Sander Berge, and we shall revisit this conversation and see how he fits in at Manchester United. Anyway, my name is botswanapapi. Don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Eriktenhag will be here by Christmas. Let's go. Let's go. Come on.
So it's looking good.
He says it's looking good. Football Power Hour.